everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Samaya Handy, and I am the Small Business Manager here at San Francisco Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for attending today's Small Business Help Desk. Today's topic is financial literacy. Financial literacy is vital to the health and success for any business, big or small. And today, we will learn exactly why it's important for the success of entrepreneurship. With that, I would like to give a few moments to our wonderful sponsor, Redwood Credit Union, to say a few words. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Samaya. Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Maldonado. I'm the Business Development Manager for Redwood Credit Union. I also have the honor to serve on the board of the San Francisco Chamber. Redwood Credit Union is a proud supporter of the SF Chamber Help Desk, and we believe in helping our business community through business services, business lending, and really understanding the needs of our business community. I want to thank the SBDC for presenting this morning, and I hope this information provided really supports your business. Thank you so much. Take it away, Samaya.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Redwood Credit Union, for being a sponsor. Also, please note that this webinar will be recorded and uploaded to San Francisco's YouTube or San Francisco Chamber's YouTube channel. For those of you joining us via Facebook and are interested in joining the Chamber, please go to our website, www.sfchamber.com. With that said, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today, Chris Horton. Chris is the Inclusivity Project Director and the Regional Lending Manager with Northern California SBDC Network. And he works closely with startups as well as existing businesses, providing access to capital, tools, and resources to support the entrepreneurial spirit. Chris, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Samaya. I'm happy to be here and happy to share some knowledge and insight, and hopefully have an engaging Q&A session with everyone as well.
Thank you.
All right, so I take it that's my cue to go ahead and get started.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do this here. So again, my name is Chris Horton. I wear a number of different hats with the Northern California SBDC. We are a statewide agency. We are here to provide technical assistance, tools, and resources and information to support entrepreneurs. Let's see, Samaya, go. There we go. I am going to minimize this on my screen, and I'm going to move it up here. And I'm just going to give a caveat to everyone that's on the call right now. So I have two computer screens going here. So I have this one that we are all on where you can see who we are, the SBDC, and then I have a smaller one over here because as I go through my slides, there's some additional notes outside of the slides that I wanted to be able to comment on. So if you see me look over here, that's all I'm doing is just reading my notes. But who we are at the SBDC, we are funded partially by U.S. Small Business Administration in the state of California. The state is broken up into 5 regions, and we have 45 service centers. Our local centers here in Northern California, we cover the 36 most northern counties of California. So you got Alameda County, Butte County, Capital Region, SBDC. We're in Contra Costa, Marin County, Mendocino, Napa, Sonoma, our North Coast SBDC, San Francisco SBDC, San Joaquin, San Mateo, Santa Cruz, Shasta, Cascade, Sierra SBDC, the Silicon Valley SBDC, Siskiyou SBDC, and Solano County. We have over 300 expert business consultants in our Northern California region. We are the largest provider of small business one-on-one assistance, and it's complimentary one-on-one assistance. Your taxpayer dollars, you pay taxes every year. Those taxpayer dollars allow us to offer complimentary consulting services. Primary focus is to help businesses start and expand through accessing capital and having the right resources to accomplish your business goals and create jobs. What we focus on, these are our core areas of focus. It's not all inclusive, but these are the primary focuses. Capital acquisition, so that's helping you to get funding to start a business, to grow or expand a business. Technology, we focus on growth strategies, and then we also focus on business launches. So that's where you have an idea and you come to the SBDC. We help you work through formalizing and crystallizing that idea into reality. We help you launch the business, and everything that goes into helping you launch that business as well. NorCal SBDC, our impact, we have counseled, and this is on an annual basis. So we are on a federal fiscal year, which means we go from October 1st through September 30th. So from 2020 through 2021, we counseled 9,500 clients. We created more than 2,500 jobs. We started 300 plus new businesses, and we helped businesses secure over $186 million. Who we help and who and how we help folks. So we help with startups, pre-revenue, business expansion, growth companies. We help to increase sales, buy, sell. If you have a business that you want to sell, we help you with the succession planning, the exit strategy, the business valuation. If you are looking to buy a business, we help you with that as well. Employees buying businesses need money to start a grow entity and ownership structure, marketing and business plans. So we help with projections and assumptions for you to go to an institution applying for access to capital. We help folks hire and retain and create jobs as well. So why is financial literacy important for entrepreneurs? In 2019, CB Insights conducted a survey for the top 20 reasons why startups fail. And the survey revealed that 29% of startups said running out of money was the core reason for their failure. Furthermore, another 18% said pricing and cost issues led to their failure. This means that 47% of entrepreneurs who lack the ability to assess the financial aspects of their startups failed. So we're nearly looking at 50% of startups that fail. Becoming an entrepreneur, let's see here, what do I got up there at the top? Let me move this here over. There we go. Becoming a successful entrepreneur takes more than just a passion for what you're doing. In fact, it takes a wide range of skills to navigate the treacherous waters of the corporate world without the support of a company to keep you afloat. One such skill is financial literacy. Finance has been an Achilles heel for many entrepreneurs. Understanding financing will help you leverage your business decisions better and allow you to speak the language of the investor, the auditor, your accountant, and business bankers. I wanted to share with you the financial empowerment pyramid. You got a pyramid, you got the top of the pyramid, you got the base of the pyramid. And many of us are at that base of the pyramid, and our goal is to work up to the top of the pyramid. Many folks look at climbing Mount Everest, right? Many people plan to climb the mountain, but very few plan to descend the mountain. So we're starting with financial literacy. You want to move into financial education. You look at financial knowledge, and then you look at financial inclusion. What is financial literacy? Financial literacy is the possession of a set of skills and knowledge that allows an entrepreneur to make informed and effective decisions with all of their financial resources. Financial education. Financial education means a process by which members of the general public are aided to improve their understanding of financial products, financial services, and financial concepts and risks and opportunities. And through instruction and objective information, develop the skills and confidence to become more aware of financial risks and opportunities, to make informed choices, to know where to go for assistance, and to take other effective actions to improve their financial well-being. Financial knowledge, financial awareness, and understanding about the financial concepts and procedures, as well as the use of this understanding to solve financial problems. It encompasses conceptual financial knowledge, procedural financial knowledge and applied financial knowledge. Here's what financial inclusion encompasses. It's the access, the usage, the quality, the education, social, and infrastructure. So what I wanted to do right here was share with you how I broke this down. Financial inclusion is defined as the availability and equality of opportunities to access financial services. It refers to a process by which individuals and businesses can access appropriate, affordable, and timely financial products and services. These include banking, loans, equity, and insurance products. Financial inclusion efforts typically target those who are unbanked and underbanked and direct sustainable financial services to them. Financial inclusion is understood to go beyond merely opening a bank account. It is possible for banked individuals to be excluded from financial services. Having more inclusive financial systems has been linked to stronger and more sustainable economic growth and development, and thus achieving financial inclusion has become a priority for many countries across the globe. In 2018, it was estimated that about 1.7 billion adults lacked a bank account. Among those who are unbanked, a significant number were women and poor people in rural areas, and often those who are excluded from financial institutions face discrimination and belong to vulnerable or marginalized populations. Courses, and my mom and I didn't have these sort of conversations, and many folks may have been in similar situations. But just imagine this here, when you take a look at this here, you know, the states around the country where it requires both courses to be offered and tested. In some states, the states in green require both courses to be offered with some testing. So you're talking about courses in economics and personal finance in high school. The yellow states require some courses to be offered with some testing, and the orange states, no courses of economics or personal finance are required to be offered, neither are you tested on that. So again, if we're going to set ourselves up for success, we have to start educating and empowering ourselves at a younger age, and it should be done in more high schools across the country. Benefits of being financially literate. It allows people proper budgets. It allows credit management. It allows analysis-based decision-making. It helps the business to grow. It gives you control. So let me elaborate on that a little bit for you. So when I say it allows proper budgets, forecasting about the business is something that needs to be addressed timely. It can't be done without budgeting. A financial literate entrepreneur will be keeping an eye on his or her budget around the year to achieve their present target, whether these are profits, revenues, or expenses. When we talk about it allows credit management, you need to manage your debts by using them for the same purpose you're seeking those debts. And let me elaborate on that. So, working capital debts. These are the loans that a business acquires to run the working capital of the business or to bridge the receivables gap. Capital loans. These are used to increase the capital of your business in the shape of the addition of machinery or etc. Vehicle loans. These loans are mainly availed to provide motor vehicles to your employees of the business, or at times for commercial purposes as well. Credit cards. Credit card is expensive, now pay later kind of loan. So you use the credit card, you pay now, you got a delayed 30-day billing, 21-day billing cycle, and you pay later. It is very much common for people, however, it is still a loan that needs financial management. Mortgage loans. These loans are normally requested to acquire a building for personal use or at times for commercial purposes. When we talk about it allows analysis, financial literacy allows analysis-based decision-making, critical as a business owner. An entrepreneur who's a master in financial literacy, who can properly read the income statements, balance sheets, cash flows, and financial ratios will be in a better position to make a proper analysis of the business conditions than otherwise. Decision-making will be based on proper knowledge of the business. It'll be based on proper footing to improve the business position. Financial literacy, it helps the business to grow. No one should expect to achieve success in the long run if you're not running the business by applying financial tools. You can have small wins, but in the long run, it'll be difficult to maintain the short wins. Startups often face difficulties once not managed professionally, face issues like liquidity, and ultimately fails and cease to exist. And last, financial literacy, it gives you control. Financial literacy allows you to oversee your business by reviewing the financial statements where your business is heading. It gives you ample time before it is too late to come up with remedies. It is hard for employees to damage your business internally once you are at good finances. So in conclusion, financial literacy lacks all around the globe. It's something that needs to be acknowledged, and more efforts like this that the Chamber of Commerce in San Francisco, this workshop, and this should be made, we should have an improvement on more organizations providing such workshops and information. Startups tend to fail due to poor management of finances, mainly due to a lack of financial literacy. That's it. So I'm open for questions, Samaya.
Thank you so much, Chris. This was a wonderful presentation. So thank you so much. If anyone has questions, please feel free to put them in the chat or in the Q&A box. So a couple of questions that I had for you, Chris. Why is documentation important when it comes to accessing grants or getting capital access?
Sure. You know, the reason why it's so important is because, you know, there's one thing for us to individually think we can operate our business the way we want to. But then you have the system, right? Where if you are looking to apply for SBA funding, if you're looking for disaster relief funding, if you apply for PPP, the California Relief Grant, there's requirements that are in place. And there are requirements in place to ensure that we do our due diligence and that we are being fair stewards of funding to help people out. So if you don't have the proper documentation, it makes it very difficult for you to apply and access and qualify for resources that your business is needing. So that's why it's so important to make certain that you are doing things above board and in a fashion that makes it favorable for you when you're looking for any kind of financial assistance or any kind of assistance, period.
Awesome, thank you. True or false, is it true that it's more expensive to operate your business on an all cash operation?
You know, and I was sharing this, you know, you and I were talking one-off about this here, and I have a mindset that is unique to many people. Some people believe that operating on cash is the most efficient way. It's easy, it's streamlined, but at the same time, you have to take a look at the conditions. You know, when we do commercial lending, you know, there's the 5 C's of credit. You know, there's cash flow, there's credit, there's collateral, there's conditions, and then there's the character. And so one that applies to what Samaya is asking right now is conditions. When you have conditions like the coronavirus pandemic that happened that's outside of your control, you have to take a look at what is most advantageous for you. We're in a very low interest rate environment thanks to our Treasury Department and our government. And so you have to really weigh it out. So it's not black and white. Cash is better, credit is better. You have to take a look at your financial situation. You have to work with your financial team. If you have a banking relationship, you want to check with folks, because right now, if you take a look at like the EIDL loan. I mean, you're talking about a prime interest rate of 3.25%. And so that money is cheap money. So if it makes more financial sense to borrow and use credit, then that's the way you go. If it makes more sense in your particular situation to use cash, then you definitely want to do that. But you have to activate those professionals that can give you the guidance to look at what's in your best interest for your particular
Thank you,
business.
Chris. And I'm going to go and ask you a couple of questions that I have in the chat. What are the best resources to start the journey of financial literacy?
Sure. There's a lot of resources out there, and me being, it's kind of like a trick question you set me up for there, is that I'm with the SBDC, right? We are the largest business consulting firm in the country. And the thing that I really love about being part of the SBDC is that it doesn't cost you anything. So the best resource is one that is available to you. It can be in different silos, different industries, but you have professionals that can offer you complimentary. There's no out-of-pocket cost to have someone talk to you and work with you about your idea and the path in which you need to take to be able to get where you're trying to go. So I would advise you to work with your San Francisco Chamber of Commerce. I would advise you to work with your local SBDC, your local Women Business Center, SCORE, any of those technical assistance providers that it doesn't cost you anything, so that someone can take a look at you, your business, your industry, your goals, your aspirations, your challenges, and then make applicable suggestions and recommendations based on what you're trying to do.
Awesome. And we talk about technical assistant providers. Can you elaborate about what the SBDC does other than specifically the one-on-one coaching? What's that process look like?
Sure. Well, we play in two different sandboxes. We have a sandbox where we are going to consult and advise on step-by-step process, procedure, task, and things that you need to do to get where you're trying to go and what you're trying to accomplish. We do training and education. We have on-demand courses. We have workshops. We have seminars where you can learn, finance. You can learn financial statements. You can learn marketing. You can learn e-commerce for different industries as well. But the most important thing that we do is we really are here to roll our sleeves up, to really get in the trenches with you, to help you where you need to be. If it's personal, if it's professional, we have relationships and connections with different organizations in all capacities. So technical assistance, it's not just about how do you, go to the City Hall, to the planning department and fill out an application. It's really being that consultant, that advisor, that mentor, that accountability partner. At least I can speak for us here in Northern California SBDC. You're like a family member to us. So we really want to get involved and intimately be a support for what it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Thank you, Chris, for saying, we're like a family member, because there's a lot of fear when it comes to saying, hey, I'm an entrepreneur and I have no idea where to go. I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't know financial literacy. So the fact that there's like an open arms kind of a feeling, that's really important to our entrepreneurship and our members here at the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
What are the most effective and efficient tools to manage the financial ecosystem of business? QuickBooks, templates provided by the SBA? Can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I'm not a believer, and I don't subscribe to one shoe fits all, right? You really have to take a look at your organization. You have to take a look at your industry and find what are best practices in that particular industry, in your particular structure. Think about it. Businesses will go through 4 different stages. You're going to be a startup, you're going to be in growth mode, you're going to be a mature business, and then you're going to transition. Each one of those phases have different needs. And so there are different tools that can be used throughout that. So I really want to say, right now, the most common thing and most popular, is QuickBooks. Everyone hears and knows of QuickBooks, but I have companies across the spectrum that are using different financial systems and bookkeeping systems and so forth. So you really, again, I am one about customizing and tailoring services recommendations and tools based on you and your particular. So there isn't a best that's leading the industry. There's what's most common and what's most popular, but my professional advice will be, hey, let's take a look at you and your business. Because listen, I can tell you QuickBooks is the best one to go at, right? But what if you don't have discretionary income to afford paying for QuickBooks? Then we got to find something else. So it's not going to be fair, and I'm not going to subscribe to saying just one. We have to take a look at you and your situation and then make recommendations based on that.
With that saying, when we're looking at a specific business, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm looking for SBDC technical assistance help, how do I go about that process? Who do I contact?
Sure.
What is the process looking like?
Sure. Yeah, it's really simple. And I say that in the sense, presuming that we all have internet access. If you have internet access, you go to Google, you go to Bing, whatever search engine you use, and you type in SBDC. It will bring you up to America's SBDC, which is our national body. And then based on the county that you're in, it will then let you know what is the SBDC center that serves the county that you and your business are located. And then from there, there's a link. You can sign up for services. Doesn't ask you for any confidential information, doesn't obligate you to anything. If you're not sure, there's a phone number. You can call your local center. And then, my information, I'll put my information here for you as well. You can always call me. Every day of the week is a Monday for me, folks, for right now. So if you need me, you can reach out to me. But again, I always got to say this here, as a former president, CEO of a chamber, reach out to your Chamber of Commerce because they have access.
Thank you, Chris. So how long, if I'm going to fill out that little form online, how long does it take for someone to contact me? If I need someone right now, say I'm like, you know what, I may lose my business in the next month if I don't get my financials correct. How fast is that process?
Yeah, our process is pretty streamlined. We've been around since 1975, so we've been doing this for a little while. But if you go Google America's SBDC pops up, you find that you're in the San Francisco County and you sign up for the SBDC in San Francisco. You're going to immediately get a confirmation that your registration has been received. It's going to ask you immediately to choose a convenient date of your choice for you to have a client intake. Typically, we like to see that within the next 2 business days. So within the next 2 business days, you have a client intake. It's a 15-minute conversation. Where are you located? What's your business? What's your industry? What's your immediate need? And then you'll get matched up with an advisor that has the skill set and the talent and experience to help you with your immediate need. Once you engage in that conversation with that preliminary conversation and exploratory interview with your advisor, you can express the dire situation that you may be in or the severity of what you may be losing in 30 days. We will activate our team to help you in any way that we can.
Awesome. One of the other questions that I had, going back to what's the most effective tool to manage the financial ecosystem. If you're in retail, what have you seen? Not the best, but out of your retail partners, what have you seen that they use? Is it QuickBooks?
Yeah, I would say QuickBooks is definitely the most common today that folks are using. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Chris, you and me have worked together for several years, and we understand the gap to capital access. A lot of the participants today are women-owned businesses. Can you speak to how these women-owned businesses can get ahead of the curve and what they need to do to be capital ready? And also, sometimes they may think that they need to borrow money, but actually understanding their financials and looking at it, saying you don't need to go into more debt. Can you speak to that?
Sure. Yeah, the number one thing is, again, I have my affinity to the chamber industry. So the first thing is to reach out to your local chamber of commerce and engage in that conversation and find out, because the chamber has these relationships, and the chamber has is that vehicle. It's that pathway to lead you to where you need to go. Women business owners are at the top of what we are working on here in Northern California. Statistics have shown that women-owned businesses and minority women-owned businesses are the most successful, most thriving compared to their counterparts, male-owned businesses or male-led businesses. So in my mind, if it totally makes sense, right? If a woman-led business is thriving and prosperous and more successful, then we need to embrace more women-owned businesses and women-led businesses. So with that being said, you have your local chamber of commerce, you have your SBDCs, you have your women business centers. Those are all organizations, and you have there's an organization called the National Association of Women Business Owners. So there's a number of different organizations you can engage with that can help you. And the whole thing about being ready, access or capital ready, you definitely want to have a conversation with someone, because there's more opportunities out there than just going into debt. You have, grant financing, you have angel investors, you have venture capital, you have crowdfunding, which is a huge thing right now, where you can do crowdfunding and not go into debt. You have peer financing, there's startup financing for women-owned businesses. There's a product out there called Kiva, K-I-V-A, and Samaya and the team at the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce can share that with you. They can reach out to us. We can connect you. Kiva is one of our partners, so we're happy to get you engaged there. But there's a number of different mechanisms for you to get access to capital and not necessarily need to put yourself in any more debt.
Thank you, Chris. That's really important when we talk about, that access to capital and what that means and what other opportunities are, because they just think, maybe I just go to my local bank and get, a loan, and understanding those different other organizations or different options is really important. So thank you. Yeah. Another question that we have in the chat, are there restrictions to the types of businesses that can be funded, like cannabis, through the SBDC?
Yeah, so on the cannabis side, being that that's what was mentioned, so anything that's illicit, anything that's illegal, we all know that, right? I want to keep my job. I want to stay free. I want to hang out with my kids. I want to hang out with Samaya. So if we do anything that's illegal, that takes that away. So I'm not interested in that. But specifically when it comes to cannabis, different lenders have different requirements and different criteria. So it's not blanket across the spectrum. But here's what I can tell you is that if the business touches the flower where the THC is, that's what's illegal. If it doesn't touch the flower, then we have options, and we have different financial institutions out there that can help you. Happy to have a more in-depth conversation one-off. Reach out to Samaya, reach out to myself, and let's have that conversation. But there are different lenders that have different criteria. It's not a mandate based on the state or the federal government. It's based on the underwriting criteria with the financial institutions. And yes, I've done many deals where the business was in the cannabis industry, but it didn't touch the flower or the THC, and we were able to get funding for them.
Awesome. And going back, again, I mentioned that a lot of our participants today are women-owned businesses, specifically minority-owned women-owned businesses. We haven't talked a lot about your inclusivity project, but I know that you're doing a lot with that when it comes to women-owned, minority-owned businesses. Can you speak to the resources through the inclusivity project and what options are available to them?
Sure. Yeah, so the Inclusivity Project, it is a very targeted initiative in response to what society is telling us. It's not SBA, it's not the governor's office, it's not Humboldt State University, who is our host. It is what society has said. And society has said that Black and African-American and Latinx communities can use a little extra tender care right now during the pandemic and during, the racial and social unrest that's going on in this country. So that's how the Inclusivity Project came about. The key performance indicators of the Inclusivity Project include starting new businesses. And starting those new businesses, there is a direct effort and focus on 50% are to be women-owned businesses. And so in the Inclusivity Project, what makes us so unique is that we have two fronts. There is the business venture and providing technical assistance to support an entrepreneur in running and operating and expanding a thriving business. And that thriving portion of that means that the business is prosperous. That prosperity then translates into your personal side. Each of us have a quality of life that we're in pursuit of. The alarm clock goes off, we get up, we go through our routine, and we go and we have a business venture that we're doing. Many of us are working for ourselves, and some of us work for an employer. On that personal side, we want to make certain that you live your very best life away from work, that you are able to provide for yourself. You're able to provide for your family. You're able to contribute to the community. If you have aspirations of becoming a homeowner and you thought that was far-fetched, that American dream, we have relationships within our partner resource community where we can get you connected with someone in the mortgage bankers or the realtors association to help you on that path to home ownership. If you have kids that you want to see pursue higher education, we help you with college education, college funding and college planning. So we help you with that. If you've been working for many years and you've not contributed to a retirement plan, we have folks that can help you to be able to do that, so that at the age of 62 or 65, when society says that's retirement age, we can help you with that. If you have derogatory or negative credit, the Inclusivity Project helps you with credit restoration. If you grew up like I did, where I had no conversation about budgeting, we have, debt consolidation and budgeting and courses that we can help you out with. So the Inclusivity Project is a holistic approach to supporting Black and African American and Latinx and BIPOC. Specifically, 50% of the work that we want to do is to help women, because in my mind, as the visionary and the founder of the Inclusivity Project, it's a way for us to contribute to our communities that we live in, so that we all have thriving and successful communities where we can live, work, play, and raise our families. So if we can help more women be business owners and have the success that statistics and data has said, it's a better community for all of us overall.
Thank you. That was awesome. If my business is flipping homes, could I apply for an SBA loan?
Well, you got to think about that. So SBA, we'd have to take a look at the SBA lender. So it's not, again, where you can just say, hey, I'm going to do an SBA loan. No, you have to take a look at the lender and the lender's credit criteria. So what SBA does, SBA isn't a lender. So I think many people don't have the in-depth or the granular, where you peel the layers of the onion back to really understand. SBA, all SBA does is provide a lender with a guarantee that in the event of your inability to repay the loan, the lender will be made whole by SBA. So when you ask that question, it's really looking at the lender, finding a lender that will provide you with financial, with financing to be able to back you going and buying homes. So if you're buying homes and flipping them, then you are just in, property management. You're a real estate investor. There's a number of different things that play into that. The structure of the company. Are you a real estate investment trust? What lenders will lend money to you for that type of business transaction? So I don't want you to focus on, can you get an SBA loan? It's what lenders would support providing me financing to go and buy, renovate, sell homes is what you're really looking for.
Now, Chris, I know this answer because, again, I worked for you for many years. What are some of the banks, again, because the SBA is not a lender, what are some of the banks that you worked with that really lend to these small, mom and pop or woman-owned or minority-owned businesses? And can you mention them who are locally that they can go and talk to?
Sure. Yes, Maya, you're right. I mean, we have about 45 different financial institutions that we've worked with across the state and to answer that question, folks, this is what you're looking for. So if you go out and you do some research on your own before you talk to Samaya in the chamber or you talk to me, what you're looking for are CRA lenders, Community Reinvestment Act lenders. They are mission-based lenders. They lend to minority-owned businesses, mom and pop owner operators, startups, underserved, disadvantaged, minority groups, women-owned businesses, if I didn't say that already. That's what you're looking for. And when you think about that, I mean, shoot, we got Bank of San Francisco, we got Poppy Bank, we got United Business Bank, American Business Bank, we got First Northern Bank. I mean, there's a number of them Pacific Community Ventures, TMC. There's a number of them. So Samaya has that list. You can start there. If I need to add on to it with others outside of the that list that Samaya and I have, and Samaya and I have this extended working relationship. We were both part of the small business loan guarantee program out of iBank from the governor's office. And so they have what are called financial development corporations. There's 7 of them across the state. The number one performing financial development corporation is out of Oakland. So they are very local when you talk about local here in the Bay Area. And they know what they're doing. They do an extremely well job over there, so well that their default rate, and this is when we say successful and number one performing, it's when you extend the guarantee to a financial institution and your borrowers perform on the loans that you put the guarantee on. There is a less than 0.5%, less than 1% of a default rate. So that speaks to the knowledge and the expertise of the team at NorCal Financial Development Corporation. And we miss Samaya.
Thank you, Chris. So thank you so much for your presentation. Again, as Chris has said, please use me as an advocate, and I have a lot of information. The chamber, as well as myself, are here for you and all of your small business needs. So thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. I am going to go over some of the new events that are coming up this year. So in December 7th, at Asia SF, there will be a small business networking event. Please reach out to me. I know everyone has my email. Reach out to me if you're interested. This is a great opportunity for you to meet other members, as well as talk to some of our board. Eric, who's on the line, who is also the sponsor of Redwood Credit Union, will be there. So please come and support. Then March 30th through April 1st, 2020, is the DC trip. Then we have May 2nd through the 6th, San Francisco Small Business Week. Again, please reach out to me if you're interested. And then May 2022, the City Beat Breakfast. With that, thank you everyone for joining, and I look forward to talking to all of you soon.